The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the October 10th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I am absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't call in, but you still have a question, you can always send me an email. That you would send to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside that subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger Send, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We got a sea of green out there. Everything is basically green with the exception of the spot volatility index and the U.S. dollar index. The Dow was up 868 points. That's 2 7/10%. 4% for the S&P, 156 points there. NASDAQ's 5.5% or 585 points. Russell is up 97. Semis are up 165. That's nearly 7% to the upside. Gold's up $37. That's a little over 2%. Silver, 2%. 43 cents to the upside, 21.76. Light sweet crude is up 90 cents at 86.72. Natural gas is up 22 pennies, $6.09 is the print there. And that 30-year Treasury is up 3 points, 3.25 points. It's trading out at 123.16. So let's go try to figure out what does all of this mean. We'll begin by taking a look at this chart right here. Here's our 4 equity future contracts. So what do they tell us? Well, first of all, the ES Mini has a TD9 count top. The high of that pattern is 39.2475. If price closes above that pattern, that doesn't matter if it trades above it, closes above it, then that pattern gets negated, and quite frankly, would set up an A to B equals CD to the upside. What does that look like, Stevie? Well, our A point, that's pretty easy to identify. That's going to be the low out here from October the 13th. The B point would be that TD9 count top. And then the lowest low that took place after that, that's our C point, and that is a trading day of November 3rd. So if price does close above 39.2425, that's going to give us a signal of a move up to 41.26 or perhaps 42.41. Are we there yet? No, we are not. I'm just giving you the potential pattern if price closes above that 39.2425 area. Now, at the same time that the ES Mini is testing resistance, also the top of its profile, but I'm more interested in the 39.25 area out here, you've got the NQ trading up into descending trendline resistance. The Dow is trading into the resistance established by yesterday's bear sash candle out there, and therefore 33,366 is its key area. And if price closes above that, that would set up a very large A to B equals CD to the upside. So for the Dow equity future contract, this is what it would look like. Again, for the A point, you would use, well, I mean, you could come all the way back here actually and use the low from October 3rd. I'll just use the one from October 13th. That would be the A point. Well, let's mark it. What the Sam heck is going on this computer? So I did fare very well last night, but I'm having some computer issues here. And you're seeing one of them. So we got the A point, the B point would be out here, the high from November the 2nd, the C point, a little retracement into November 3rd, less than a 0.382. It's a 31% retracement. Nonetheless, that would be the A to B equals CD pattern, which would suggest a move to 36,173. But that's going to require That's going to require a close today above 33,366. So we've got the Dow equity future contract just above, slightly above resistance. The NQ trading into resistance. The ES Mini also trading into resistance. And now the Russell 2000, a nice move out here today. But what it's also doing is trading into its resistance level, and that's the top of its daily profile, 1876.40. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the equity future contract. So what does that mean, Jelly Bean? Well, the one thing that it means is let's go take a look at the U.S. dollar index. So we take a look at the U.S. dollar index. The chop. This is both gold and in this case here the Dow equity future contract. Up at the top, down below you've got the U.S. dollar index. What's below that is the correlation tool, and it's a 5-day correlation that I have here. When lines are down below the zero threshold level, which in the case of gold, it's for most of the bars that you see out there. When the lines are below zero, it tells you about an inverse relationship, meaning if in fact the U.S. dollar right now, if the U.S. dollar is headed lower, then the markets have typically headed higher, as has gold. So the reason to take a look at this here is because we do have the ES Mini, the NQ, the YM, and the Russell 2000 arguably at resistance levels. And the question is, will those resistance levels hold? I would say that if, in fact, the U.S. dollar index closed below 109.36, that will confirm an A to B equals CD to the downside, and it will likely do more than a 1-to-1. The reason why I say it will likely do more than a 1-to-1 is because we have a strong accelerated move off of that C point. And price is trading along the left side of that C to D angle out there. That typically is a signal and leads to more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern. So that's what I would be watching. That's what I am watching out there. That's why you're now watching it with me as well. And I don't know that there's really much else to take a look at, although we will certainly take a look at everything that we can. So that's what the markets are doing. The real key here is, do we get this confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside in the U.S. dollar index? I believe that we will. And if that's the case, that's just a signal that says be very cautious on the short side, even though we are trading up towards resistance. But we'll have to make this more of an end-of-day call than where we're at right now. Just looking for some of my little tabs out here to figure out where Stevie goes next. Okay, so with resistance out here, if we take a look at the Dow, we take a look at its primary trading ranges. Those are the green horizontal lines, and its diagonal trading ranges. We have both a rising price channel that's identified by the blue diagonal lines to the upside. The blue diagonal dash line to the downside is a trend line. And price is trading, this is the Dow, cash indice is trading right up into that resistance level. So this is saying caution, Will Robinson, because this is where we could also find resistance. But again, I think that U.S. dollar index, which we will most certainly investigate during the show today, I just started to do that. I've got to turn a couple things off and minimize some charts, so we'll probably do that after break. It won't be this break out here. But when we do come back from this break, we do have a couple of questions that are in. And one question is the ES Mini about resistance. Well, that here, I think we've really identified that for you, at least the next key resistance area, and that's from Rahul, and that's at 39.2425. Now, there may be resistance above that, Rahul, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So we'll fire up the charts for Apple. That's for Nicholas. And Rahul wants to take a look at the ES Mini. And, of course, folks, I would love to hear from you as well. 877-927-6648, or send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. And, of course, any ping will do inside our Tiger's Den. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So let's take a look at Apple. This is for Nicholas. Nicholas is asking the question, could Apple close the gap from November 2nd by tomorrow out here? So, Nicholas, as we take a look at what Apple is doing right now, I would say that if it does close above 142.80, and you're trading at 142.81 right now, if it does close above that, now I don't know whether it will fill by tomorrow, but odds would favor that it is likely to fill that gap. If it and the volume on that down session was 97 million shares, or less than 2 hours of trading, and this is at 40 million shares. So it is pushing in to that gap to the downside with some volume up there. So at least at this stage here, it looks like it should continue higher. If I'm you, I'm looking to see if price closes above 142.80. That would then, and then I'd also want to be looking at the charts for the NQ, right? If the charts for the NQ, and you probably want to come back and take a look at those at day's end to see what that signal might be telling us. But right now, what I can share with you is you take a look at this on this black background chart. You can see that price is moving higher. It's trying to get into that gap. It's doing it with volume. That's a pretty good signal that it wants to certainly make that attempt. So I hope that helps you out. I don't know that there's anything else out here. Let me just take a quick peek at the daily and the other time frame charts out here. We'll go ahead and switch. We'll do give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second to change the screen for you. So here I don't really, and prices above its oscillator and change on a daily time frame. So knowing that it's held the support of its monthly profile, it's tested a swing point in its weekly profile with much lighter volume. At least it will do that this week. That's a swing from June 17th. All this is suggesting that Apple does want to move higher. So I hope that helps you out, Rahul. That was Nicholas out there. So Nick, thanks for the question earlier this morning. We've got a caller on the line. It is Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Steve. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much. So HYMX, what is this, and what are you doing, and how can I help you?
Yeah, I think it's HIMX. I'm not sure if that's what you put in her.
That's perfect. Okay, because I wasn't grabbing an HYMX, but I thought you figured you could help me out there. So perfect. So HIMX. So tell the folks what you're doing, how I can best help you out.
We had looked at this previous, it's probably been about a week or so ago. And I'm not sure if it quite hit it yesterday, but I know it did that crossover, on the OUL. I believe I got close to touching it yesterday, and then I'm just noticing that it looks to be getting above those swing points, and it should have the volume. It looks like it's going to pass that up without too much difficulty.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's really multiple AB equals CD patterns in there, but it looks like that, could definitely form. And then I just wanted to get your thoughts. I think it's in bar 4 on the weekly. Just, get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so we've got, let me see what charts. Okay, I've got the white background charts up. So, yeah, the first, it's taken out a TD9 count. That was also the B point of as you said, there's multiple A to B equals CD patterns out here. But it's a trading session from October 27, folks. And that has volume of 1.2 million. You're already at 1.1 million. We're less than 2 hours of trading. So it's going to have the volume to confirm that A to B equals CD pattern. And we'll go back to the black background charts to draw that in there. But the daily chart would suggest, regardless of the A to B equals CD, this next upside price target, Brent, would be $7.17. Yes, you're absolutely correct. This week appears to be bar number 4 on a weekly time frame. Price is also taking out the top of its weekly profile, which is at 618. So a close above 618 tomorrow would signal a move back to 755. So we've got 2 price targets to the upside right now, 755 and 717. On a monthly time frame, I don't really have a whole lot other than that price pulled back last month and the month before and tested and held the bottom of its monthly profile. So this would suggest a price target somewhere in the range of 860. It'll be higher than that as price moves up. That would be the monthly oscillator and change line. Brent, any questions about that before I switch over to the black background charts and just draw in the likely A to B equals CD pattern to the upside?
No, that's great. Just what I was looking for.
Perfect. Switch over, folks. We'll switch over to the black background chart, just an easier A to B equals CD tool that I have here. And you'll see on the daily time frame, I already drew that in. And so I'm using the swing point here from September 29th. That's our A point. B point out there at $6.21 on October 27th. And then it does about a 618 retracement, 60.85% to be exact. And that's when it bottomed out on November 3rd. The one-to-one price projection, Brent, is $6.77. But this is not the way that A to B equals CD patterns typically complete with, which is what a wide-ranging bar, price along the left-hand side of that C to D leg. So this is suggesting more than a one-to-one. And this gives us a 1 to 1.272 price target of 715. So we got 715 on the A to B equals CD. That's the expanded version. 717 as a TD9 count breakdown area. 755 on a weekly basis, TD9 count breakdown area. And the monthly says, hey, I might want to make a move to 859 or so. So it looks very good, Brent. Are you in this position?
Yeah, I have been for a while, from not right at the lows, but in about five range.
Well, it looks like a great trade. So congrats there. Anything else that I can provide for you?
I don't think so. I was just going to tell you, I'm kind of jealous at your guys' leadership in that state. It's just amazing how much more efficient you guys are at getting your elections, results in quickly, and just in general, just compared to what I'm dealing with in this state. So I am jealous of what you guys got going there.
Florida did have the benefit of the 2000 election, the Chad election out there. So, and it really started, before Ron DeSantis, getting our election in order out there, which is, it is, you have to admit, it is pretty odd that, I think even last night I ordered something through Amazon. It's coming today. And it's secure, right? And all that. And we really can't get all of our election stuff figured out. But I was
kind of embarrassing, honestly, but hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you, Florida is a great place to live. And I've been down here for over 30 years. Well over 30 years now, and maybe 40 years if I go back. I have to do the math. I can't do the math that quickly, but it really is a great state. There's no doubt about it. So, and of course you live in a great area, so it's kind of, and you got family out there, so pretty hard to leave. But you're welcome here in Delray Beach. We'd love to have you.
All right, Steve. Thank you so much. Just have a great day, and I'm not sure if I'll talk to you tomorrow, but just have a great weekend if I don't.
Going to be the early show tomorrow, so you'll have to wake up early, which I know you do anyway. So, Brent, great to talk to you as well. And if we don't speak again, have a wonderful weekend.
All right, take care, Steve.
You bet. So Rahul wanted to take a look at other resistance levels. We gave one resistance level for the ES Mini. And that was at the that's TD9 count breakdown area, and that again was at the 39, 24, 25 level. But let's switch over and take a look at the white background charts. We'll go see if we can find some other areas of potential resistance for it. Those are not the charts you're looking at right now. We'll change those here momentarily. We'll get back to the ES mini charts out here. And so we had identified an A to B equals CD to the upside, Rahul. That would come into play with a close above 39, 24, 25 out there. I don't recall where that gave us a price target, but another resistance level on a daily time frame would be 41.75. The 5-hour chart out here, it's approaching a resistance point. That's a TD9 count breakdown level. So that's at 39, 25, 25 out there. And I don't see any other resistance. Now, a 16-minute time frame chart suggests that we could see a TD9 count top form between noon and 2 p.m. today. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow up 954, the S&P's up 166, and let's go out to Denver and speak with Ron. Ron, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you, Steve. By the way, I'm calling in regard to Brilliant Earth, BRLT.
Yes.
And recall last week I called and I said I had the 5s and 7.5s, and you said it was getting up to resistance, probably pull back, and I did take profits on my 5s and half of my 7.5s. So you were right; it came back down. Now I bought more of the 7.5s. And they bring out the earnings tonight, and I own the November 18th calls.
Okay. So let's try to figure out what it's doing here. So as we take a look at BRLT and we take a look at the daily time frame chart, what we can see is that prices...
BRLT.
BRLT, yes, BRLT, that Brilliant Earth group out there. And
Yes,
what it has done so far today, Ron, is traded right up into resistance, and that's at $8.18. That is the top of a bearish structured daily profile. It's bearish and structured because the top of a profile is where sellers reside. The bottom is where buyers reside. The center line is equally distributed between buyers and sellers, and that's where they believe there is fair value. Well, if we have both buyers and sellers at 787, let's call them sellers there, and sellers at 821, that's why it's bearish in structure. So if this can close above 818, then what it will do is it'll take a run for its TD9 count top out here. That's the high from October the 24th. If it cannot close above 818, then this is just a counter trend rally. And so I think, let me see here. And when we took a look at this, so what I'm going to look at is if there's a confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside, and we'll switch panels. So I would have as the B point volume of 140,000 shares, and it passed it with 80,000. So even though this had formed an A to B equals C, well, let me show you what I'm looking at here. I'll just draw in the single line from the A to B level out here. Whoops, that didn't work right. Let me try this again. So A to B would take us to about right here, and then the C to D leg would be like this. Oh, yeah, and so it didn't get down far enough to complete that pattern. And it's also not really confirmed to pass the B point with lighter volume out there. So what does this mean? That means that today's high could be the C point of an A to B equals CD to the downside. I say could be, but boy, what else? So let me see if let's take a look at a 30-minute time frame chart here. See if there's any short-term signal that you and I can look at. So nothing sticks out at me other than $8.24 being an area of resistance, but 818 is the real resistance level that you need to be aware of.
Well, in all honesty, I thought I'd hold to see what their earnings are tonight and see what reaction we get from the earnings. They appear to have very good cash flow and good earnings in the past 3 or 4 quarters. So
okay. Well,
I want to see what reaction there is to the earnings.
Yeah, I wish that I had better information for you. I mean, we know that it made a top, and so I'm sure when we took a look at that, we noticed that, and then we looked for where some support levels were. What I don't have is a bottom pattern, and what we just have is a consolidation with inside the daily profile. But today, if I just take a look at today's volume, so far you're at 35,000 shares, so it's not the most liquid of stocks out there.
No, they did an IPO at $20 about a year and a half ago.
Did they? Okay.
They're supposed to have some kind of process of minerals. Sell jewelry that's very environmentally friendly or something like that. I don't know.
Okay,
but,
all right.
They got about $13 a share in cash, and they're positive cash flow. So I'm expecting good earnings. We'll see.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, look, you know where the battleground is at. It's at 818
right
as we speak, and so if it can close above that, odds favor it has a positive outcome, and if it can't, it's kind of a toss-up. And I couldn't tell you to.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, so Ron, thanks so much for calling, and good to hear from you as always.
Thank you.
You bet. That was Ron in Denver. Had a request inside the Tiger's Den to take a look at Amazon. So let's get the Amazon charts up on the screen there. I think that is for G-Man. And I apologize, I don't recall the question, and it's a little bit past my screen, but that's okay. Let's just take a look at Amazon and see what we can figure out here. So the charts are popular. I'm going to leave them on the white background charts. What I can share with you right now, G-Man, is prices traded above the top of a daily profile for Amazon. So the top of that profile, you want to watch today's close. The top of that profile is 95.22. And if it can close above that, so let me actually, so here, in the case of Amazon, I'm just going to switch back to the black background charts, even though I said I wasn't going to do that. I am going to do that because G-Man will need to see this. So what Amazon could be doing here is giving you a little bit of a change in trend signal. What I mean by that is, we're seeing it close above the top of the daily profile. Now, the last time we saw that was back here in October 18th when price did close above it. It lasted for a few days out there, so it could just mean more of a counter trend move with price targeting this gap to the downside, which would be about the 104.87-ish area. That's with a close above 95.62. Now, a reason to really support that this really wants to move higher, now that I take a look at the white background chart, so let's go flip back to those charts out here. Where I got to do this, sorry about that. Kind of lost my sense of where I was at here on my screens, but now we've got the white background chart. So Amazon, G-Man, formed a TD9 count bottom yesterday. It was the bar following bar number 9. Prices above the green oscillator and change line, or the red oscillator and change line, that would become its first target. Well, it hit its first target plus. So this is suggesting now, well, volume-wise, you're at 92 million shares. And 92 million shares, in essence, is going against, because trading into it, about 153 million shares. So this has volume in the move. So I would think that what price will do is go target that gap. And if price can get inside the gap, then it will go complete it, and that would get up to the low of October 27th, and that's at the 109.77 area. Now, if on a weekly basis, if tomorrow, today and tomorrow, Amazon could extend its gains here, you could get a bullish reversal candle on a weekly time frame that would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom out there. The monthly chart, it's got a lot of work to do. And what I mean by that is prices below the bottom of its monthly profile. This could be the second month close below that, and if so, that would tell us that longer term Amazon gets down to the 81.30. But what you do have out here is you've got a confirmed TD9 count bottom on the daily time frame, price above an oscillator and change line, price above the top of its new profile, the top of the new profile formed today. It's not showing on the white background screen out there, and that says a close above 95.22 should lead to a further rally. So, G-Man, let me know if that provided you with all the information you were looking for. If not, let me know what other piece of information you need, and we'll get that to you. Dennis wrote in, and he wants to take a look at Microsoft. And, Dennis, let's get the Microsoft charts up on our screen out here. MSFT, let me make sure I type that in properly, and let me see where I'm at. So Microsoft is consolidating right now with inside its daily profile, and that is between the range of 232.16, that is support, and resistance at 242.65. We'll wait for these white background charts here to populate, and then we'll provide you with more information out there. So what Microsoft has is a confirmed TD9 count and Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, and wave number 7, letter G. So it's got 3 bottoms. Does that make it a more solid bottom than 2 bottoms or 1? No. What price is doing today, I did say that it is consolidating with inside its daily profile, and that is true, but it's also trying to take out TD9 count breakdown resistance at 238.30. Now, a close above 238.30 out here, Dennis, should take us to 242.65, and a close above that should take us up to the 260.40 level. We'll continue looking at Microsoft when we get back to this breakout here. This is Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the chart here from Microsoft. This is for Dennis inside the Tiger's Den. Dennis, you know, one of the things I also noticed here today is that price is taken out at B point with volume. So the B point is just a couple of days ago, November the 8th, and the volume on that session was 28 million. We're already at 17 million shares, a little over 2 hours of trading, so it's going to have the volume. The one-to-one price projection takes you right up to 242.65. I mean, basically right to it. 242.55 would be the exact A to B equals CD. So that's going to be a resistance level. Now, the retracement here, much less than a 0.618. So if it can clear that, what the next price target would be the 247.50 level, and then 260.40. Yeah, 260.40. So the 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD pattern is 247.50. 260.40 is a TD9 count breakdown area. And a close tomorrow above 236.57 should at least get you 248.12. And that's the top of the weekly profile. So that's what Microsoft looks like to me out there. You're going to get a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern, and you should at least get to 242.65 or so. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request out there. McGuppy wants to take a look at the SMHs out here. So let's get those fired up on our screen out here. The white background screen, so let me make sure that's where I'm at. Yeah, that's where we're at. SMH. And the question is, can you please look at it? I've got a long-term position of multiple semiconductors I'm considering adding. Specifically, if you'd give your analysis of ACLS, which looks to be relatively strong. So we'll take a look at both. So first, with regard to the SMHs out here, taking out a swing point from a couple of days ago, that swing point had volume of 6 million shares. You're at 3.3 already. So you've got volume taken out a swing point. You can see here that price is trading right into a potential resistance level, and that's at $200.30. It's at 209. Hold on, what is that? That's at 209.37. Today's high so far is 209.33. So if you're long, which you are, the semiconductors, you'd sure love price to the SMHs, that is, to take out and close above that 209.37 level out there. If it does that, then your next battle out here, McGuppy, is going to be at 211.73. That is the top of the weekly profile. If price can take that out, then the next battle would be at 215.69. 215.69 is the bottom of the monthly profile. You've got a nice monthly TD9 count pattern that's going to complete this month. And if price can get back inside that profile, it means a close above 215.69. That's going to suggest that over time, it should make a move to the 241 to 245 level. And if price can close above 211.73, top of its weekly profile, that suggests to move to 235.80. Does that provide you with the information that you were looking for on SMHs? I hope that it does. Let's go take a look at the ticker symbol you want to take a look at, which is ACLS. And so let's get that up on our screen out here. ACLS. And let me see what that is. Axcelis Technologies. So let's take it just a tad here to populate. This too gapping up. Now, this is well above its profile. So the last profile that formed looks like this was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And so, McGuff, you see how this profile formed below price? That's a bullish message out there. And you could have I don't know, from the A to B equals CD standpoint, if I would use yesterday's retracement as much of a B to C out here. But as we take a look at this, you are trading above your weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. You're above that profile. So the next level of resistance out here for ACLS, just so you know, looks like it would be the 7760 area. 7760 is the top of its monthly profile. Now, this has a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on a monthly basis, and that then says that if price could close above 7760, you would then be watching 8374. 8374 is the top of a monthly. It looks like it is also the top of a daily and weekly Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So you know that's your significant resistance level out there. You had a three-peat. So 83.39 is a real key level. That's not the one that you're paying attention to today. I'd say today you're watching, and tomorrow you're watching 72.25, because it closed above that. That's got a nice TD9 count bottom on the weekly time frame. So you had one on the daily, and you have one on the weekly time frame. So that looks pretty good. So close above 72.25 should at least lead you to 77.60. So does that help you with the information that you're looking for? If not, just go ahead and ping me, and we'll make sure that we get that. Duncan Steve wants to take a look at, not Dunkin' Donuts, but Disney. And so let's get the charts up here for Disney. He says, hey, Steve, can you look at Disney here after its earnings tank to 88-ish? Thank you. You're welcome. So let's get those charts here to populate. Come on. Go ahead. Oh, you know what? I typed in the wrong ticker symbol. And that means that what we do know is there is no ticker symbol that is with DIX. So that's just a nice bit of information for you, but that's not what you were looking at. Now, Disney is trading below its weekly, its monthly, and its daily profiles out there. So we're going to have to find some real support out here, or some type of bottom signal, and we do not have it. Now, I take that back. So for Disney, what you want to be watching for, Duncan, is does Disney close below this nice hammer candle from back in July? And that hammer candle was July the 15th. The low on that hammer candle is 90.23. Now, that's been tested. That swing point, by the way, has volume of 54 million shares. This week, we've already done 118 million shares. So even if price can hold that hammer candle, again, that low is 90.23, even if it can close above it, which it's not right now, but if it does, that would still suggest that 90.23 area gets tested, and maybe even this week's low as well. So the weekly chart is saying, yeah, not so good. The daily chart, boy, could be just simply a gigantic A to B equals CD to the downside out there, because that swing point that we're looking at on the daily time frame, October the 13th, had volume of 11 million shares. You know what you did yesterday, or what this did yesterday? 62 million shares. So your question was, can we take a look at it after earnings? If you're looking to buy, I don't know that I've got any great signals for you to do any kind of bottom fishing. If we take a look at a 30-minute time frame chart to look for some bottom fishing signals, you do see that this did generate a TD9 count bottom for the 30-minute time frame. And therefore, price now with it above a 30-minute profile should be able to make its way to 91.10. I mean, if it can't make its way to 91.10, that tells you that there's something really wrong here in Disney. If it can close above 91.10, that would at least suggest a further rally. 91.10 is the TD9 count top for the 30-minute time frame. But other than that, things don't really look that great here when we take a look at Disney. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks so much for the question. So I believe I have gotten to all of the requests out there inside the Tiger's Den. The question is, have I gotten them by email? And the answer to that question is no. Rachel writes in. Nice to hear from you, Rachel. She wants to take a look at Intuitive Surgical, ISRG out here. So let's get those charts to populate. Oh, I see I've got something maybe inside the Tiger's Den. I don't know why I can't get that, but I can't. Okay. Okay, so we're getting Intuitive Surgical out here. Let's read Rachel's question. We'll read it before we go to the breakout here. It says, wondering if you could look at Intuitive Surgical, looking for an entry point to go long. Looks like it has a nice bounce off of the 200-day moving average. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at Intuitive Surgical here. This is for Rachel. She's looking for an entry price, and she pointed out that price bounced off of the 200-day exponential moving average. That's the one that I've got up on my screen out here for you, Rachel. But now is not the time to enter. The reason that we would say that is because price is trading right up into potential resistance, the top of that daily profile. Now, it's got some good volume versus the swing point that was out here on November 1st, which had 2.27 million shares. You're at 1.2. So it should have the volume to take that out. But I struggle to tell you to try to take a position when price is up at resistance. The better entry area for Intuitive Surgical, and I don't have any indication that it'll pull back to 231.10, but 231.10 would be the bottom of that daily profile. So that would certainly be an area to look at. Now, look, the weekly looks pretty good. You're above profile. It's above the bullish structured monthly profile, so it does look good. But on a daily basis, it's right up at resistance, and you got to see how sellers deal with that area. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks much for writing in. The last chart I believe that we'll take a look at is going to be fuel cell technology. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. And Dan is looking for levels, I believe, was the question. So this is trading above the top of its daily profile. So its next price target should become about $4.15. That is its TD9 count breakdown level for the daily time frame. This is back inside its weekly profile. So that's a bullish outcome. That assumes that if it closes above 322, that its next price run would be 392. So that's your first next battle. How about that? $3.92. If pricing it above that, then you're looking at 415, and above that, 449 would be the price target. So monthly chart isn't going to help you or I out, Dan, at all. And if we take a quick peek here at a 30-minute time frame chart, the 30-minute time frame chart shows us what? It looks bullish as can be. So it's really confirming what we just took a look at on the daily, weekly, monthly charts out there. So it does look like this wants to continue higher. And your next battle should be at about $3.92. So I hope that helps you out. And thank you so much for writing in. Folks, stay tuned for the great programming that we've got. Tomorrow morning, I will be recording a show between 8 and 9. I hope you can get up early and join us. I'll try to make that show as pertinent as possible for the 11 to 12 time frame. So have a terrific Thursday, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Fantastic Friday. Take care.